Welcome into the show. We've got another interview today with a renter turned homeowner, and this guy's story is incredible. John originally reached out in 2023, and then, well, the dude just changed his mind. That was partially because he thought he wasn't ready, and partially because when he got a text message back from me, it came so fast, he was like, no, that can't be the real him. And, he just looked at everything and thought, I think I'm just too early. My situation is too messy. And he thought he would be wasting everyone's time. Nothing could be further from the truth, because when he finally reached back out, thanks to a little prodding from his sister in 2024, you know what? He was right. He wasn't ready. But with the Unicorn team help, he was ready in only 3 months. So his last lease ever 12-month program only took him 3 months to get it done. Great lessons in this story. A really, really intriguing interview. Let's listen.
How to Buy a Home educates, protects, and connects first-time homebuyers to qualified vetted realtors in their area. Whether you're looking for DIY information or step-by-step guidance, How to Buy a Home is the #1 resource for first-time homebuyers.
Hey, homies, welcome to the show. I'm super stoked. I've got John here who he and I have been in communication for a long time. And he's a recent homeowner and is being super cool and going to come on the show today. John, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks again for, bringing your wisdom and your knowledge to everybody here. So you recently closed in December on a 318, something like that place, 100,000 in Jersey, right?
That is correct.
And now I thought you reached out in 24, but you said you originally reached out to us in 2023?
Yeah. So I texted in 2023 and got a reply right away and changed my mind. Yeah.
And then, so then changed your mind and then you came back. So now obviously you've gone through the process. You're, a little over a month as a homeowner. Congratulations.
Thanks.
What's your biggest tip to everyone else out there who's thinking about doing this? Besides, go ahead and talk to Dave because he'll get back to you even if you change your mind.
Well, I think that is the biggest tip. Just reach out. Even if you don't think you're ready, even if your plan is a year from now, 10 years from now, reach out. Just start that conversation. You'll be glad how prepared you will be.
Wow. Gosh, I've been doing this a long time. Haven't heard it said that way. You'll be glad how prepared you will be. It's putting it in the positive affirmative. Yeah. I like that. So what happened the first time, just to kind of walk everybody through it? In 23, you reached out. Did something drastic change in your life, or did you just look at the numbers and say, I need to wait?
So my sister told me to listen to your podcast. She said, hey, this is pretty cool, yada, yada. So I listened to a couple episodes. I think I texted the number, got a reply right away, ignored it, and then got another one and another one. And I just thought, I'm not going to reply because why am I going to waste anyone's time? And then I kind of stopped listening to the podcast just because of life and stuff. A year later, so that was 23. So 2024, I started listening again, and I really got into it. And I texted again. And I got the reply. So, I replied back. And then I realized I texted my sister. I still have the text. I think there's a real person on the other end of that text message. And we went from there. You connected me with Lisa. And ball just started rolling. Sorry, not Lisa.
Yeah,
Debbie. Debbie is.
That's what I thought.
realtor.
I was like, wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Debbie's the Jersey Unicorn.
Yes.
Yeah. We're still at the place when I individually respond to everybody who reaches out. And I try my best not to type like sounding like I'm AI or a robot, but I'm like, it's really me, dude. But that was October 2024, you reached out and you closed here at the end of 25. So what was that preparation period like for you?
So I got in contact with Debbie and we had about an hour-long conversation and, positive thoughts. I think I started the conversation by saying, hey, I don't want to waste your time. Just want to tell you my info and then maybe we could take it month by month or something. And she said, nope, we dove right into it. She said she liked what she heard. She liked what she heard. explained to me that she thinks it's doable. Once we get the real numbers on paper, we'll be able to, really know for sure what we're working with. So that was October. Spoke to the lender right away. And that's when we started crunching the numbers. And then my credit wasn't ready. So we went from there. Lisa is the lender. That's why I said Lisa earlier.
Yes.
She connected me with someone she works with who helps with credit repair. So they kind of analyze what's going on, all your collections, pay this off, don't pay that yet, do this, do that. And I believe by January, it could have been December, let's say January, I was ready.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you reached out in October of 2024. In 3 months, the credit got you ready.
Yeah.
And then what was your process during 25? Were you saving up for more money or what were you doing?
Yes. So I was saving money as I went. And then in January, we started seeing houses right away.
Wow. And how was that process for you? Was there anything about the home shopping process that was something that you weren't expecting, or some tips for people when they're out looking at homes?
So that first time we went to see houses, we saw one, we put an offer right away, and that was a lot of fun. And then I didn't get it. So something to prepare for is it's not like on TV. So it's not, hey, I work in this and I make X amount of year and this is what I want. And then 5 minutes later after the commercial break, you got the house. It doesn't work that way. There's a lot of driving, a lot of walking, a lot of seeing, a lot of falling in love. And then sometimes it falls through. So Debbie was very good at explaining to me part of the process. You won't regret it. Trust me. Once you get the key to your home, you'll be glad everything turned out the way it did.
Wow. That's such great advice. Yeah. It's very difficult to explain to people that the process is, as much as we want to be excited about it, sometimes, we understand after doing this that the seller, it's what we call a one-off, one-time buying, selling one thing once, and they don't care what kind of review you give them.
Yeah.
So that's the unfortunate part about it. But I'm glad Debbie was able to help you out. Now, with the home that you ended up putting an offer on, so wait, hang on a second. I'm going to go back.
Okay.
I'm still getting on this timeline. So you were looking at homes in January, but you closed on this home in December of 25.
Yes.
So was there a year of home shopping? Walk us through this.
So we saw a few homes. That happened. Then we did another round of seeing homes, put another offer on a house. Didn't get that one either. Then that first original home came back on the market, put an offer, didn't get accepted again. I got upset. I took about a month off or a couple weeks off. Then we went to see houses again. I don't remember what happened, but my credit dipped a little and it was just like right below the threshold. So I had to bring it back up again. So I had to wait like another month for it to go back up, and then it did. And this is what we did. I think we put in total offers, 5 offers, and then this was the 6th one, and I got it.
Wow.
But this house, the offer was accepted. I put the offer in July. It was accepted August. And then there was other stuff that happened before the closing.
Oh, okay. Now this makes sense. Because 5 offers from January to November, that would be weird. Or not weird, just have some unusual circumstance. Yeah. But 5 offers from January to August, that can make sense. You're going out every once in a while, plus you have little setbacks. Mm-hmm. Congratulations, by the way. Your perseverance, your stick-to-itiveness. I know that you had an excellent, guide right alongside you.
Yes.
So she's phenomenal. That's my dog, who is very excited about the fact that you own a home. So then what were for those first offers, before we get into the good story here, what do you think the reasons were that you weren't getting accepted? Were you using a low down payment? Were you offering lower prices? What was the reasons?
I don't think we ever got any feedback as to what it was. I just always assumed, there were a few houses, now that I remember, that we did get overbid. One of the houses, we were overbid by, I think it was 40 or 50. It was just like a crazy amount.
40 or 50 on a $300,000 purchase?
Yes.
Approximately.
Yeah.
Yep. So now let's get into the juicy stuff. What happened from August to December on this contract to buy this home?
So they accepted, and I think the reason they accepted is it was 300. It was listed for 300. We offered 318, and I might get the vocabulary wrong here, but we'd cover the first 4,000 of repairs if it's needed. And I think that's what they liked, that we would cover the first 4,000, and we put 1,000 as a deposit. She built it a way where, she said, trust me, they're going to like this. And they did. We did the inspection. Long story short, septic issue. There was a big septic issue. I was on a first-time homebuyer grant. There were a lot of rules, and you can't close with the septic not working. And that's what took us into December. It was dragging on a long time, and I started to get frustrated. And I kind of got into, it's like I was sitting in the back of the car. I just placed myself in the front of the car trying to help drive this thing. So with a little help from ChatGPT and reviewing their bylaws and this and that, long story short, I got them to agree to let me close on the house while the septic is being repaired. So I didn't have to finish the repair. Because at first they gave us a hard no.
Letter of the law for the loan, or the grant part of the loan, has to be repaired. And we see this with VA loans. We see this with FHA loans, certain things, exposed wires, working stove and heat.
Yeah.
Those are, but I know about these exceptions too. I've seen these happen. Yeah. So you guys, did you have to show them like the contractor, or, just give them some kind of verification?
So it looked like it was a hard no. And then I sat in my house for like 3-4 days, very upset. And then I said, I don't like that answer. Let me go in. So I downloaded their manual, their book with the rules. I put it on ChatGPT, and I said, what do I need to do? Here's what's going on with me. How do I get it to a yes? And it spit out all these different scenarios, and we followed it. I worked with my realtor, Debbie, and Lisa, part of the lending team. And we wrote letters, and we showed the contractor, and we showed that it was working and it's not dangerous, and all these things. We had to show papers and proof and this and that. Eventually we got to the finish line. They gave us the okay.
Yeah. Wow. The overall perseverance that you have, the understanding, the fact that the original contract was written and Debbie was like, hey, this is going to get it. We kind of figured out pretty quickly that the sellers of the home knew there was some stuff that was going to come up.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to put in the work, and if you're willing, just think of how many other buyers maybe looked at that place and walked away.
Yep.
And didn't get it for this price.
Yep.
So now that you have everything fully fixed, you've been there a month, it's probably still worth way more than you paid, because the seller didn't want to do everything they could to make the home marketable to so many different buyers.
Yep.
At any point in that time with Debbie, were you like, forget it, I don't want this house, I'm gone? Or did you just go to ChatGPT and say, I'm going to make this damn thing happen?
Well, we had thousands of conversations. I'm sure if you talk to Debbie, she'll tell you I called her 100 times a week. I was just back and forth. And she was very helpful and would pick up my calls. But there was a point where I said, here is a date that I'm going to give myself. If it does not close here, we're not closing. We're just not going to do it. And we all got to work. We were all on the phone, writing letters, getting proof, this, that. It was go, go, go for the last week or two.
That's amazing. So how, I think we have an interview this year, a gal named Rosie, who did the same thing. She she took the stuff from the team, she took the stuff from herself, and that all together worked as a partnership. So did it end up costing you, or was it more than the $4,000 that you agreed to get the septic fixed?
Nope. The seller paid for it. It was put in escrow. The prices didn't change. If anything, my closing costs went down from what we originally planned. Like nothing, no financial hit in the whole process.
just time so you could meet the needs or the requirements of the loan.
Yep.
Of the grant.
Yep.
I'm very tentative when I say this to people because I don't want them to think, oh yeah, that's only if you jump through a lot of hoops.
Mhm.
No. It's like you could have bought a home without that grant and figured out another financial way to do it, but because you were willing to go through that. So what was the down payment? Do you remember? Like was it a low one? Like
the closing cost?
3% or 5%?
Oh, the down payment was 3%, I believe.
3, and then the closing cost, but you got a bunch of that covered.
Right. So I got the grant. He covered the repairs, XYZ.
Yeah.
We thought that my out of pocket to bring to closing would be around $8,000. It turned out to be about $2,900.
Dude, John, you're in a $318,000 house for $2,900.
Yep.
Hi, everybody. What was your last, first, and last in your last apartment, everybody out there? Say it out loud, listeners, while you're on the train. I bet it was more than $2,900.
Definitely.
And you got
worth it.
And you close on the 19th, which means you had no mortgage payment on the January 1st. Oh my God, it's January 31st. You're probably making your first mortgage payment today.
Yep.
Or tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yep.
Wow. So you had all that time, 6 full weeks in there before you make your first payment.
Oh.
Now, if I remember correctly, you weren't renting before this, right? You were living somewhere where you didn't have to pay rent?
Right. I was living with my sister.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So how's it been? Have you been prepared for all of a sudden? Just, what do you have to do for your sister? Just like wash the dishes every once in a while? Or did you pay her anything?
Yeah, I covered a couple of the bills. That was like our agreement.
Okay.
And then she had my nieces and nephews who I love and the dog. But it's nice to be on my own now, let's just say.
Is it worth that big old payment that you haven't been paying for years?
This is great. Everything turned out great.
Oh, that's awesome. So what kind of place did you get?
So I have a 2-bedroom. I guess it's a ranch. Is that what it's called? It's 1 story.
Single level?
But there's a finished basement and it has 2 rooms. So this is kind of what I wanted. I wanted a 2-bedroom for a 4-bedroom. Like I wanted a 4-bedroom for a 2-bedroom price. If that makes sense, which I got. So
nice.
There's 2 bedrooms in the main floor, and the finished basement has 2 bedrooms along with other space. But there's 2 bedrooms downstairs.
What's the plan for all your extra bedrooms?
So I'm gonna take the downstairs bedroom, and the 2nd bedroom downstairs I'm gonna turn into a little library. That's always been my dream since I was a kid. And the upstairs are for my kids when they visit.
That's awesome. So what, like, is this a Beauty and the Beast dream? You want a big library like Belle gets in the castle?
always wanted one. So I get to have one now.
Oh, what a cool thing. And in the basement. Oh my God, that would be such a cool thing. So
yeah, there's full windows in the basement. It's great. It's good.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And, I remembered, in some of our early conversations, and I was excited to bring you on because you could be inspirational to other people because there are people that are making moves and it can get really expensive to buy a house for a full family when your family's only there part-time.
Yep.
That was a really smart idea. We don't have basements here in California because the earthquakes would crush us. But, for the rest of the world, I love that idea. I have a lot of dads out here actually convert the garage and just park in the driveway.
Yeah.
I still can't believe it. $2,900 getting into it. How about I was going to ask you how the closing process was, but sounds like it was pretty darn good.
It was good. I felt like we were go for so many days in a row. And when the closing came, you just give them a bunch of signatures and you're done. And then you get the key. And it was kind of hard to just go from 100 to 0. And it's just like, done.
Yes.
So my words out of my mouth were to Debbie, what do I do now? She said, well, now you go home. And I did. Yeah.
I could only imagine how, it's people say it's like, oh, it's like having a therapist. I'm like, no, it's not. It's like that time period when you're working, it's like, I don't know, like your high school coach during the middle of the season.
Yeah.
It's not your therapist you call once a week. It's somebody that's on top of you every day.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden season's over and it's like, okay, boop, see ya.
Well, and I think that, look, it's always been my dream since I was a kid to own a home. I grew up in New York City in an apartment. And while I love my childhood and things that only New Yorkers go through, like, showering at the fire hydrant or, being at the fire escape, I always wanted a backyard and my own room. And throughout the years, I've contacted realtors because, there's a gap in knowledge and it's like, hey, what does it look like for me to own a home? And there was minimal effort put into it. And I've been thinking since the very beginning, had it not been Debbie and your team and just no one would go to the lengths that everyone who was involved went to get me here. That's why I say, whether you're just dreaming about it, thinking about it, make the call, because this is the team that's going to get you in there.
I couldn't agree more. And it's not just because it's my company. It's because it's true. Because I was doing this for a long time. My son's in New York City right now. He just got on a plane today, as a matter of fact. The last 7 years of doing How to Buy a Home, I lived in Hell's Kitchen for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize, before I was in real estate, I didn't realize how crazy it is out there. They just don't pay attention to people. They're like,
yep.
If you're in the city, they're like, okay, well, we'll only deal with this, and you got to deal with co-ops.
Mm-hmm.
So show me your trust fund or the $100,000 you have in a bank.
Yep.
And if you don't have that, they're like, well, then you can't buy.
Yeah. And I think the main reason I wanted to come on is because there are people who were like me, who would sit there and it's just a dream. To own a home is just a dream that you think about. And it's not, I'm telling you, it's not reserved for those who are wealthy or who have everything together, because my finances were messy and my credit was messy and everything about everything was messy. But if you want it and you make the call here, you'll get it for sure.
I love that. And thank you very much for being transparent and vulnerable. Yeah. I started this whole thing because in my 20s, I was messy and no one told me what to do.
Yeah.
And if someone told me what to do, I would have had a lot better position in my 30s.
Yeah.
Messy's good. I just saw this thing on Instagram because when I go on there, talking about the podcast, everything in my algorithm is just, first time home buyer stuff.
Right.
And it's people going, we're going to buy a house. And then the other, it's cartoon. And the other guy's like, oh, so you're getting money from your parents? Or you're going to completely sacrifice everything you want in your life to buy a home? And they were like, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, that's the only way you can buy a home now. You're either getting a huge chunk of money from your parents or you're going to sacrifice all of the comforts of your life right now.
No.
And yes, thank you. I'm sorry. You're right. No.
Yeah. If you call, you lay it all out on the table and you start checking off those boxes and you'll get to the end. It's a little bit of hard work, a little bit of time, a little bit of compromising. You'll get there. Yeah.
And that's my favorite thing. We love messy. Bring messy in.
Yeah.
Because we know the ending. And, for you, have you had a chance to share the home yet with the family?
Yeah, they came over. We had dinner. It was nice. It's a lot of snow out now, so no one's been to the backyard. But I have a huge yard, which I said I wanted a big backyard. So when the summertime comes, it's going to be great.
Wow. Well, yeah, got that septic, so you probably big space for them to have to figure all that out.
Yeah.
So, that's just an unbelievable tale. And it's good for everybody to understand that there are some loan programs and there are some grants and some things that have specific requirements. But a lot of times it might be a repairman just going in and fixing it.
Yeah.
But in your case, it was something bigger. And thank goodness you had the whole team there working for you and making it happen. So what are the plans after the snow melts? Are you going to do anything to the home? Are you like inside just coming up with too many ideas of stuff you want to do, or are you just enjoying the place?
I have to.
Oh yeah.
I have to tell myself to calm down. I want to buy this. I want to.
Well, I don't want to say nothing because you only spent $2,900 down, so there's probably a little left in the bank.
Yeah.
Just be safe, buddy. Okay.
Absolutely. But no, I'm just excited for the summer to come, and barbecue in the back. I have a giant deck in the back. I have half an acre of a backyard. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be good.
Unbelievable. I just still can't believe it. Giant deck, backyard, $318,000 in a deal that would have fallen apart with any other team.
Oh, yeah.
So is there anything else about the process? And I'm going to put you on the spot here. Is there anything else about the home buying process that you're like, oh, I want to make sure I tell everybody this?
No.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can. But it starts with what's the saying? It's a very popular one. The hardest journey starts with the first step. Just take that first step and reach out. And if you have Debbie or anyone like Debbie, you're going to be happy you did. See, now I have a home. I have a home, and my children can come, and it's their home. It's not the landlord's home, or
yeah, and you've got the control to do anything you want. If there's fun things for the backyard, or things for their rooms, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
It's your place.
Oh yeah.
So. Well, it truly is a story of inspiration for everyone to understand messy's okay, and the right team is going to walk you through it, even if it takes time. There's no better example than 5 offers over 6 months, go through that frustration, and then, we got one accepted. Now we got 6 months of septic tank drama. And they got you through it. Did you ever think, oh my gosh, they're going to follow me with a camera and we're going to turn this whole thing? That's what really needs to be on HGTV.
Oh, yeah.
What happened during the septic tank 6 months, right?
Yep. But
because working with all that is what really happens.
I mean, it all turned out great. I got a home, and the price was good, and the down payment was good, and now I have a brand new septic that I didn't pay for.
Yep. The perseverance to get through and I think in a lot of ways, I believe that sometimes when you come into a situation messy, you have a better aptitude to be able to push through a messy situation, which means you end up with a better deal.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So I'm trying to reshape people when they come in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hang on, you're not buying perfect, because you're asking me how you can get something really affordable and not go house poor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you want a great deal, it's not going to be perfect.
Right. Yep.
So, John, this is amazing. I thank you so much for taking the time today and sharing this incredible story. Congratulations to you. And I hear these stories all the time, but when I hear someone go, you know what, this is going to work, and stick with it,
mm-hmm.
You're the man, John. Thanks for coming on, bud.
Couldn't do it without you guys.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.
Man, thank you, John. And did you hear that, everybody? A $313,000 home for only $2,900 all in. $2,900. You gotta know that was less than many of you guys listening that you paid for your first, last, and security deposit to get that new lease on that apartment. Doesn't matter if you're buying $300,000, $600,000, or $900,000. The lessons here about patience, perseverance, and planning. Understanding what you can do instead of telling yourself what you can't do. His journey, without the right support team, this totally would have been one of the horror stories that you hear about or you read about online. I mean, look at all the things that sounded impossible. He had credit score issues. As he said, messy things happening, right? His finances weren't in place. And then once he did get going, he got outbid by $40,000 or $50,000. That's incredible. And then when he finally did get under contract, he had home inspection issues, a crazy long contract period, and the septic tank nightmares. So, after all that, there's no way this dude's going to close, except this wasn't a horror story. And for those of you still on the fence, remember this dude reached out in 2023, bailed on it, came back in 24, and was ready in only 3 months. He said it best. Let me quote him here. Quote, "Well, I think the biggest tip, just reach out. Even if you don't think you're ready, even if your plan is a year from now, 10 years from now, reach out and just start the conversation. You'll be glad how prepared you will be." I love that quote. And, I understand why he, and maybe you listening, maybe you're disheartened because maybe you've talked to realtors like John did. He found out the hard way that the real estate industry, they weren't giving him support that he needed. And in fact, I think he said they were giving him minimal effort. And this dude was saying, this is my dream. I wanted a backyard and a home. And then at the interview, quoting John again, he said, quote, "Whether you're dreaming about it, thinking about it, make the call because this is the team that's going to get you there." Yeah, unicorns turn messy into clear reality. And a lot of that is, it's planning, it's getting you together and getting you ready to be able to get approved for a home loan. But the other side of the coin is showing you affordable options that too many realtors, they just don't know exist. So let's make this your last lease ever. Go to howtobuyahome.com and get yourself an experienced professional who can protect you, make the impossible possible for you, and know how to fix messy. You have more options than you think. This first connection, it's just planning. It's no commitment. And I have the data here. Most of you out there with a good chunk of money saved, you have tons of affordable options that just aren't being shown to you. I want you to know about this because I know you can do this.
Looking for more DIY education or your own personal step-by-step guidance through the home buying journey? Since 2019, How to Buy a Home has been the #1 resource for first-time home buyers. So visit howtobuyahome.com to get started.